So welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Star Trek Resurgence, a game made by the original developers of Telltale. This is a dramatic lab's adventure. The relationships and events you are about to experience will be shaped by the choices you make.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Wait a second. Okay. Right, mouse. I need to
Thanks.
No problem.
take out my controller, because apparently it seems to be using that as default.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the
I have
worst.
to use controls.
You don't like flying. And yet, you joined Starfleet.
There's a reason I'm not a pilot.
You should try it sometime.
I mean, piloting might help, give him a sense of control. It might alleviate
Sorry,
the symptoms.
I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
Checking their security. So I was a little confused because they decided that during dialogue choices you can't use your mouse to choose one. You're not coming out? So this is some kind of modified shuttle. Are they called shuttles? I think they are. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, this is some kind of modified one. Because they usually don't have a ton of seats in them. And they usually have like a back department. So it's like a very small version.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
judging by the uniforms, this is like during Deep Space Nine. So where is this? Is this like something like Badlands? Huh. I'm not sure.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy. So, there's that.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds.
Okay.
Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground, so to speak.
With the EXO, so we gotta set an example.
The pleasure is mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
So my knowledge of Star Trek is limited to like TNG and TOS era movies, and TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise. So it's good to be in that era in a game. We haven't had a modern Star Trek game in like forever. Like, well, actually, no, I did watch the J.J. Abrams movies, which I kind of liked, but they didn't feel very Star Trek.
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermot is a Bolian.
Oh, Bolian. Ah, there he is over there then.
With blue skin.
So he's in that corner. We go ask everybody. Took to lost crewman. You okay, crewman?
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Ah, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
I don't know if I've seen her species before. It kind of looks familiar, but I can't identify it. Oh. I'm not sure what species she is. She's also wearing a ring. I'm not, like, off the top of my head, I can't remember any Starfleet officers wearing jewelry. Other than, like, Bajorans, I guess, because of it's part of their religion. Wait, were there any Bajorans in Starfleet? I mean, we had Kira, but she wasn't Starfleet. She was the Bajoran, like, Defense Force. Huh. Well, there was Ensign Rowe. Did she wear it? Maybe she did.
Excuse me. Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
I mean, I was I thought we were going to talk to him. I knew where he was.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
These are weird meals. So you got a slab of meat, some kind of ham maybe? Is that bread? And then a single potato. He doesn't look particularly enthralled by the meal either. Just staring at it, wondering, is this my future? Is this why I have to look forward to at meal times? When I'm not working in deep space. Where you quite often have accidents and being attacked by foreign empires.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Oh, which one did she say? Which dock was ours? Oh, we can have a look down here. Oh, this is cool. Gives you a sense that there's more to this place.
Excuse me.
Don't remember any red aliens. Don't know what species that is.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermat, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was a bit bumpy, but otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything I've seen before.
How's this got nothing to do with the Badlands, and I guess we're nowhere near that. I don't know where we are
We're
actually.
grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War.
Oh.
Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework.
Like I said, we're very lucky.
We were in the Dominion War, okay. I guess if you were part of Starfleet, you wouldn't really
The
have
USS
been able to avoid being in the
She may
Dominion
not
War.
look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunctioned. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the
Ouch.
day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
It's been 6 months. What's the attitude among the crew now?
Unsettled. But I hope that a new mission will help them move forward. If not, move on. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time, and I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
I have to hold it. Okay. So this takes place further than we've seen then. Because this takes place after the Dominion War, it sounds like.
I got just the thing.
Find the plasma torch. Well, this looks oh, how do I... Interphasic coil spanner. Oh, we get to find out all these things. Hyper spanner. ODN recoupler. Plasma torch. We gotta find out. The other thing's just probably a torch, I don't know. Clear the corrosion, okay. Okay, we just have to keep it in the center. Oh, that's what this thing's for, okay. Okay.
Is that?
Whatever that is. We are the best engineer. There we go. The lower decks.
I thought the thing was totally fried. Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Millie.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Okay, so we can have a look at our choice consequences. So Jara made a good first impression of Commander Irma, coming off as inquisitive and appreciative while showing empathy for the crew of the Resolute suffered. Ensign Calloway was grateful for Jara's sense of humor when he was nervous on the shuttle flight. Were we funny? So I'm going to turn the music down a bit because the voices aren't very loud, but the music is, to a degree. I don't want to, like, overtaking it. I wish there was music here, though, so I could tell. I'll take it to about there, maybe. Oh, we can run. Okay. Oh.
Corrosion in there was pretty extreme. Nothing I couldn't handle, though.
I wonder what they're for.
Come on!
Yeah, look, I would like to take a look around. I wonder how many characters... Oh, see, I didn't look this up. I wonder how many characters we actually control. Is it just these two?
Carter Diaz!
Oh, sorry. Wait, where were you? Oh, there you are. Oh, maybe it'll be from all schools, so we'll have him as the engineer, Jara as, like, our command, and then someone in science. Whoa, what happened there? Whoa, what happened there?
Cargo storage all the way to the turbo.
Not after the retrofit. Bulkhead
Oh, there she is. Oh, Jeffrey's tubes.
Engineering.
I heard the new EXO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovac called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
You and me working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious.
I hope so.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovac.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you.
Good job we were here on time
Point
then.
I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edsolar on repeated occasions.
Apologies for the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need
Oh,
you to
nice.
tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
How concerned should we be about the storm? Are you worried?
Vulcans do not worry. We calculate the variables and take appropriate precautions to mitigate the risk. Right now, that entails making critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
There's a Lieutenant
Commander
Commander?
Chovac.
There's not a full commander, because of his
All
pips.
hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovac said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
It all comes down to us, Nilly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Whoa, 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 careful.
Excuse me.
A lot of new
Wow,
faces
this is a
coming on
lot.
board.
This
It's
is a
gotta
lot
be
of,
tough coming as a
Jumping around.
replacement. That's for sure.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome.
So they're all
As soon as
chiefs.
we wrap up this quick little
I
spacewalk.
think that's what that pip means on their side. I don't know if they already said that he was a chief.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Security? If you're wearing like engineering.
Good to go.
Isn't security red?
See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Okay.
That view never gets old.
Let's go.
The USS Resolute. Oh. Captain's ready room? This is like
Captain
was.
Solano should be
Oh
here
yeah, the
momentarily.
ready room.
You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Oh. So that's why she has our ring. A constant ability to show you your medical readouts.
We'll be out there soon. Going where no one has gone before.
Or train.
He's still got a thing for trains. The warp engines of their day, apparently.
Whoa, what the? Why is the camera doing that? Oh, Amethyst, yes. Oh, let's get something from the replicator. What can we get?
Just a sip of something.
Ractigino, tea, coffee. Yep, we are like Janeway.
Decisions.
We'll go for the coffee.
Coffee. Perfect temperature. Don't know how they do it.
Wait, we just grab a sip? Seems like a waste.
All right, then. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrit Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. My only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare. But, unfortunately, we've had our hands full with the refit.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I assume you mean the accident.
That's right. The tragic accident, really. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
You're being too hard on yourself. It wasn't your fault.
It's not a question of blame. It's about responsibility. No matter what the circumstances. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
Indeed.
This is your ship, and you are the captain. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever you say, goes.
That's the kind of support I'm looking for. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least, I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggested several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hotari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details at the rendezvous.
Who is the senior diplomat we're escorting?
That I don't know. Starfleet hasn't said. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst.
Were they looking at the screen? Because their nose were touching
I
it.
want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
Thank you. But I feel like I still have so much to learn.
You'll have plenty of opportunity. And if you're willing to put in the work, I'll do everything in my power to help you along the way. Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
So our job as XO is to carry out his orders, but also, you know, question it at times, if, you know, there is need. So the USS Resolute is a Miranda Class, I think. Oh, yeah, we're just following him. Wait, so his ready room isn't just here? Or is it? Does that door connect? They just chose us to go through that door. No. Interesting. I thought the ready rooms were usually like right next to the bridge. Perhaps not. This looks nice.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
Ah, so he's a visual. He is wearing his
Next, we
religious
have
earring.
Commander Westbrook, our chief science officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time, and I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
I don't know what to say. That's incredibly flattering, thank you.
I hope someday I can follow in your footsteps.
I'm sure you will.
And then, of course,
It's a
you've
little-
already met
oops.
Commander Ermont.
It's a little patronizing.
Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here.
Who are the
I'll be on the
Kobliads?
starbase.
Should I know these?
Have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
Oh, they're from Enterprise? Oh, okay. Seeing the captain's chair seems like a bit of a like that. I don't think we should be doing that, should we? Oh, did he leave us in charge? I was looking up information about the Kobliads.
Operations. Staffing. Supplies. There's a lot to keep track of on a starship. Good thing we have Commander Ermont. Communications. Keeps us in contact internally and with other vessels.
She should be tactical? Yeah.
Tactical station. Hopefully a diplomatic mission won't require we use our weapons much. But if it comes to that, we'll be ready.
That looks way too high for her. Like she needs like a platform or something to stand on. Like reaching over there, like doesn't look very comfortable to use.
So many decks. Full of crew that are now my responsibility. Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude. I'll have to speak with him later.
Did he give us attitude?
Impressive range of view. tactical holodias. Just like they've got on the Excelsior.
What is this? Okay, I'm not sure what the purpose of that is.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovac needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Very well.
Mission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field, now.
Entering maintenance mode.
I mean, we're in docks, there's
Condition
no...
blue.
Yeah, there's no, threat.
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the Sif.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
Oh, wow, we can see it in the south over there.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
I am more than that. And so are you. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere. See new worlds. Look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovac. We are at the Sif Emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
What do we need? Oh, calibration tool.
Beginning recalibration.
Align the structural integrity field. Tune nodes to the center indicators. Okay. I'll just put it in there. Okay.
Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
Why is it going red? I'm somebody.
Commander Westbrook,
Report.
right? Chief Science Officer.
I don't know what this means.
Remembered my name and my rank. Impressive.
Wow, so rude. I think you need an
Yes,
attitude
I'm
adjustment.
Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer. Given your
Excuse me?
vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then? You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
Captain Solano's familiar with my condition. I'm sure it factored into his decision. so I'd have to say it's not a problem.
But we should probably have a contingency plan just in case. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
Mr. Westbrook, if you have some kind of problem with me, and you just met me so it has nothing to do with me, you're gonna have to figure out how to get over it. Because I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. I'll stick to science. That is what this ship is for.
Very well.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure.
What's the blinking light? Damn it! Uh-oh. Red across the board. This is not good.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Raise the shields or something.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wideband burst of ionic energy, like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities all over the ship.
Estimated time to impact, 2 minutes.
Red alert.
Aye. Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact, 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's
Sounds
a better
good.
way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
That's
Shields
right,
up.
Which is why we need to send power to our shields.
Yep, shields up. Let's do
Petrosian,
this.
get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields. Stand by. I need a heading. We've only got one shot.
Understood. On my command.
Now.
Heading locked.
Raise shields.
This is it!
All hands, brace for impact.
We saved them like that. Because we put the shield around them.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
It can blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
So we'll override the EPS failsafe.
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Interlock 1, interlock 2, okay? This is cool, I like this.
failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
This feels very Star Trek. They did a good job. Okay, let's put it into there. I'll put that one into there. Yeah.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS Regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
Use one to equip the phaser, and then aim, and then fire. Yeah, but it could be an alien life form, right? Oh, that's cool.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know.
Use your phaser to clear a path. Okay. There's so many of them. Where does that come from?
Right?
Yeah. So took most of it. Snuck
Oh.
up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy dampening is down to 60%.
So be careful of ones going at your side.
We're almost to the regulator.
Take care of these weird green bubbles. Even if it means we're committing green bubble genocide.
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
Yeah, keep us safe,
Now
Millie.
halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
Have I got to get them in the middle, maybe?
The EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance. Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovac can...
Alright. Our docking struts or whatever these things are have broken free, and now we're just going to go direct. Great. Docking clamps. Oh, watch out. Uh-oh. Debris strikes.
Get down! DS to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. Hull vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
True.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working.
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We have crew outside and are looking for the
We have
safest way to...
people on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Chara?
Captain, you brought me here because you trusted me. Can you trust me now?
You better be sure you make the right decision.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
I think that's... Yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
What is the holdup?
Reverse the polarity.
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, we are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Understood.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Perfect.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Come on, come on. Nearly, give us a hand. Nearly, yes.
Look out!
No, Nearly.
I got you. Petty Officer Etzelar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Etzelar there to access the interior.
Roger that. Going there now. I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this. Get in there!
You better be right behind me.
What are you doing?